Hey guys, welcome back to Just Being a Mom podcast. And do me a favor, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell for notifications. Thanks so much. And today on episode 43, we are talking about something super important. It definitely hits home for me. We are talking about raising Black men and Black boys, because it's tough, okay? And if you're a mom raising a Black kid, a Black boy specifically, but Black kids in general, this episode is for you, okay? Because I've wanted to do this episode for so long, and I just couldn't find the right words to say. I wanted my really true feelings to come out about it, and I don't even know that I can do that in 15 minutes, but I gotta say something about it, because coming off of this tail end of Ahmaud Arbery's death, and not even the tail end, like this man died months ago, and his murderers are now just being taken in and charged with murder like months later. Like, that's crazy, and things like this should not happen. And it's crazy to me, because if you watch the video of these men, I don't even want to say men, these people being arrested, they're just so like gentle with them, just like, hey, like, okay, we're gonna arrest you now, like, can I put these cuffs on you, like, is that okay? I bet they took him to Burger King too. Yeah, because that's what they do. Like, it's so infuriating to me. Like, I'm so angry about it, and it's just, I just hate that we have to live in like this society, but it is what it is. I've come to the conclusion that racism is not going anywhere. Racism is here to stay forever, and it just is what it is. And I'm not saying that to be super negative. Like, I want to be positive. I want to live in like this dream land of, oh, this preparing my son to, raising my son in this dream world that I want him to live in. But no, I have to prepare him for the real world. This racism is not going anywhere. Just like any other crime, like, people aren't going to stop stealing. People aren't going to stop drug dealing. People are not going to stop being racist. They just can't do it. They can't figure it out. And it sucks, because the thing that does need to change is it needs to be punished accordingly. Like, we can't keep letting the justice system get away with things like this. It needs to be punished, just like drug dealing and just like stealing. Racism needs to be punished, okay? And I think we are all in agreement with that. I have dealt with my share of racism as a Black woman. Elijah has dealt with his share of racism at the early age of 2. He's 2, and he's dealt with racism. He was with me, but they were being racist to me and him. So basically what happened was, we were on a plane on the way to Atlanta, and we were running late. So, you know, we were flying Southwest, and you know how Southwest is. You get on the plane and you have to like, kind of like, you know, you can sit wherever. So there were only 2 seats left. So I get to one of the seats, and it's there's a white lady and a white man, and it's a middle seat. And so I'm like, hey, can I sit here? And I have the baby, I have a bunch of things. Like, I look like a stressed mom who just needs to sit down. Any kind person would have let me sit down. But she says, no, you can't sit here. Like, and I'm just like, I didn't even think about it. Like, I'm just like, okay, whatever, somebody's sitting there. And there was a girl behind me. So whatever, I keep walking. I'm not even thinking like this lady's being super racist. I keep walking, and the flight attendant's like, no, you have to go back up to the front. There's no more seats. So I turn around, and the girl behind me, a white girl, she's like, is somebody sitting here? And the lady's like, no, nobody's sitting here. Come sit down. So then I realize, oh, this lady is racist. She doesn't want to sit next to a Black lady and a Black baby. And we could all say, yeah, maybe she just didn't want to sit next to a baby. whatever. You can think that if you want to. I cannot imagine this lady turning away a white lady and her baby. So let's be real. She was being racist, and that is what it is. And she was being racist to my kid, and I didn't like that. So I found a seat eventually, and I cried because obviously I didn't cry the whole flight. I did shed some tears. I was angry. I was so angry because, one, there was nothing I could do. And as much as I wanted to say something to this lady and cuss at this lady, and I couldn't do it. One, because we're on an airplane. I don't need to be getting kicked off the plane. Two, I don't need to be like, oh, this crazy black lady and acting crazy. Three, I'm in front of my kid, so I don't need to be acting crazy in front of my kid. I just need to sit down, take a breath, say a prayer, which is what I did. And the whole flight, I'm just like, just forgive the lady, Shelby. Just forgive. Like, Lord, please help me find it in my heart to forgive, not say nothing to this lady. It was very hard. But I didn't say nothing to her. I just was just like, whatever. It just is what it is. And I'm going to move on with my life. But I just felt so bad that, and even though Elijah's a baby, he's going to experience more things like this in his life. And this is a part of raising a black man, a black boy. And so I listened to a speaker, Greta Gardner, and she said 3 perfect things about raising black men. And I'm just going to copy exactly what she said because it's so amazing. We have to educate, advocate, and celebrate our black men and our black boys. It's just, she said it so perfect. Like, I'm just like, oh, that's amazing. Like, I definitely have to talk about that. So basically, 1, we have to educate. I'm so serious about education with Elijah. I don't want him to be behind in any sense. Like I said before in previous episodes, I've been doing flashcards with him since he's been 4 months. I am so serious. And the thing is I'm a teacher, like I'm a preschool teacher, and I'm all about like play-based learning, like knowing the child, all of that educational stuff that we learn in school. I threw that out the window when I had a baby because I was just like, no, Elijah has to, because he's a black man. He has to be better than his other race counterparts to even be considered equal. He's got to be better. And so I've been on him. Education is number 1 on top of everything. Our kids have to be book smart. They have to be street smart. They have to know their rights, but they can't assert their rights because that's what gets them killed, unfortunately, just to be blunt. And that's the thing. I want to educate. I want him to know his rights, but say like, hey, if you ever get pulled over, do what they tell you to do. Don't fight it. And then if it's unfair, we will file a complaint later. So education is huge for me, to the point that I had this kid. It's so funny because I had this kid in my class. He was the only black kid not at the school, but in my class. I was the only black teacher at the school. And he was honestly the most brilliant kid that you would ever meet. Just like the best. You would meet this kid and like, this kid is going to be president. Like, he's awesome. He's my favorite. And it's so funny because, okay, side note. Teachers have favorites. So sorry to tell you, but you're never going to know who they are. They won't tell you. But this kid was my favorite kid. Like, I loved everything about him. He was so independent. He was so strong. He was just like that black man. Like, he was going to just be great. The next Barack Obama, for sure. But his mom was just always so worried about him. Like, is he doing this? Is he doing that? Always just like, he needs more homework. Like, what can we do to get him ahead? I'd be like, why is she so worried? Like, he is so smart. He's like, he's so great. But now I get it. Now I get exactly where she's coming from. He needs to be ahead. Even if he's ahead, he needs to be more ahead. Like, people don't understand what it's like being a black. I don't understand what it's like being a black man. And I know that when my husband goes out into the world, he's got to be great. He can't do the same things or be the same way as his other coworkers. Like, he's got to be the best he can be. So yeah, it's hard. So I get where she's coming from now. I'm always worried about Elijah too. Like, that's actually, education is not number one. Worrying is number one in the education. But she was, and the thing is too, she was always advocating for him. And that's number two. She was always advocating for him. She was always in the office, like, what can we do? What classes he needs to be in? Well, let's get him some, like, he needs to be doing preschool work. Like, no, let's get it. Let's go. Like, I'm like, yes, mom. Yes. That is how you advocate for your kids. We have to advocate for them. We have to be there for them. We have to, if they have friends, white friends who are not advocating for them, then we're going to have to get some new friends. Okay. And we have to teach them to advocate for themselves. Like, we have to say, stand up for yourself. If you know you're being treated unfairly, don't be scared to say, hey, this is not right. This person is getting this type of treatment and I'm getting this type of treatment. Like, no, something's got to change, or this is not right. Like, I deserve harder work. Like, I want harder work and I'm smarter than this, or I need to be in this class and I'm fighting for this. Or, like, we have to advocate for our kids. If we're not going to fight for them, then who's going to fight for them? Because it's sure not the teachers at that school. Those teachers don't give a crap about our kids. They really don't. They really don't. So if we're not going to be up there, then please believe. Now, there are some teachers who are excellent and amazing, but there are others who are not. And it's just, we have to advocate for them. And most importantly, we have to celebrate them. We have to celebrate them. We have to build them up, make them strong, give them confidence, build up their self-esteem so they know that they're worth. They know their worth when they go out into the world. They know their value. They know what they're bringing to the table. And we have to clap them up, guys. We have to celebrate our black men, our black boys. And it's so funny because, like, the world will tell you, like, even like a single mom, like, we don't need a man. We don't need these black men. Like, they ain't nothing. Like, no, we need our black men. We need our black men for our black boys. Like, we need our black family. We need our black community. You know, we need, what am I trying to say? Like, they've taught us for so long that, like, black men are not of value, and they are. I love my husband, and I see him go into the world every day and just work so hard for our family. And, like, sometimes he comes home and I could just tell he got beat up, you know, not like physically, but just like mentally, just like beat up, and he's tired and he's done. And I just want, I don't want to get emotional, but it just makes me so upset, you know, that people are treating him a certain way, or like, and not to say, like, I don't know what Keen's every day. Like, he doesn't tell me every single thing, but I know that it's not easy, you know, he doesn't have it super easy, you know, and my biggest prayer, and it's just like, I pray every day, like, God, just please bring my husband back home. Like, please just let him make it back home, because anything could happen out there. He could just be jogging. Like, just, you know, he could just be jogging. He could just be sitting at Starbucks. He could just be walking down the street. He could just be trying to visit a friend. Like, I mean, he better not be visiting a friend. Okay. But you guys get what I'm trying to say. He could just be out living his regular life, and for no reason, somebody comes up to just mess with you. And for what? And for why? Like, I just don't get it. But I do get it. It's called racism, and we have to do better. We have to hold people accountable. So we have to educate our black men. We have to advocate. We have to fight for them. And we have to celebrate them. Celebrate. If you see a black man doing good, don't say nothing bad. You celebrate that black man, okay? He is doing good. He's doing what he's supposed to be doing. He's doing what we need, okay? Let's not give up on our black men. They're doing great. I love a good black man, okay? I'm here. If nobody's fighting for y'all, I'm fighting for y'all, okay? But that is my time. I hope I said what I had to say and got it through clearly. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. See you guys next time.